Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Conversations with an Investor. There's a lot been going on behind the scenes, and everyone's been asking me about why I went out and jumped on my bike and rode around to find Ashley Cain. For those of you that haven't sort of been or been hiding under a rock, there is a guy out there doing a world's first. He's performing something called Ultraman. So Ultraman is a spin-off of the Ironman, and the Ironman is a three discipline event where you take part in three different sports to complete an event. And this Ultraman is an extreme version of that, to say the least. So Ashley's ran the length of the United Kingdom, and his plan is to cycle back down, which he's completed as of the time of recording, completed that yesterday, where he cycled back down from John O'Groats to Land's End, and he's going to kayak up the side of the UK coastline to back to John O'Groats. So I would have invited him on the podcast, but he's got a few shifts left, I think 49 days. So I thought I'd give you a quick recap until he's recovered, and we'll see about getting him and maybe his team on the show. But the whole idea of this is that when I do these podcasts, it's about giving out some of the wisdom and experience that I've picked up over the years. And if you're out there and you're stuck, and maybe you feel a bit lost, maybe you feel a bit of doubt, maybe you feel unsure, and maybe you wonder what if, then that's okay. And the reason that it's okay is that everyone feels those feelings at some point. And it's what to do when you feel that come on. Because what you're doing is you're responding to whatever the challenge is that you want to set yourself, whatever endeavour, whatever idea, whatever concept. And when you do something new, something happens where you're unsure of it because you don't really know what the outcomes are. And like any great thing in life, there needs to be a degree of uncertainty. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting, because if the outcome was predetermined and it was known, where would be the fun in that? And I guess looking back over my life, it's been lots of series of taking that risk, taking that jumping into the unknown, figuring out what's possible, and handling those fears and doubts and that level of uncertainty that comes. Because certainly for myself, I didn't have a great deal of things to lose, so it was like, well, what have I got to lose if I can try, and I'm not going to be any worse off. So that put me in a great mindset where I didn't really see much downside and only really seen upside. And there's people out there that will concentrate, and you might be one of them, where you concentrate on the downside. So if I do this, what happens if I look bad, or I get rejected, or I fail? How will people see me if I fail at what I do? And what if and what if and what if, and it's always in the negative sort of sense. So when I was watching Ashley take part in the Ultraman, I was following his progress, and this will give you some idea of what fear and uncertainty or doubts that you could have when you're watching someone like this take part of something. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder what's behind this guy's mindset. I wonder what drives him. I wonder what makes him want to push. I wonder what makes him tick. And for those of you that haven't heard of Ashley's story, so he was an ex-professional football player. Jack the lad got together with his ex-partner. They had a beautiful baby girl, and she was born, and quite quickly they discovered that she had a rare form of cancer. And tragically, there was a battle that ensued, and their daughter lost her life at 8 months old. But they threw just about everything in the kitchen sink to try and save her. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. And Ashley since then has flung himself into challenges that he's surpassed anybody's expectations of how to handle grief, how to cope, how to sort of raise awareness, how to develop a mindset to learn to begin to live with losing a child. I mean, I think it's every parent's worst nightmare. As a father myself, I can't imagine the pain and anguish of outliving a child And as Ashley and his ex-partner would have been, they'd have been new parents, and being a new parent is difficult enough because you leave this life of certainty that you know, and you have this new life being a mum or a dad that is really uncertain, and it's a challenging time. And the reason it's challenging is that you're losing the old identity that you have, and you're gaining this new identity whilst you've also got a huge responsibility in terms of bringing up another human being. So I'm putting myself in that sort of mind frame of what would it be like as a new parent, of what I've known and what I've went through as a dad, and every parent can relate to that. And then I'm imagining how chaotic and catastrophic and absolutely disastrous an outcome to go and see the finding out that your daughter has got a terrible disease, then the awful news that it's cancer, and then being completely distraught when you find out that she's not going to make it. And I can't imagine what that would be like. I wouldn't like to sort of even hazard a guess at it, but for people that can go out there and try and find the good out of that situation in terms of at least showing support to families and other kids that are going through that, to say, look, hey, somebody cares enough that they're going to raise awareness for this disease that kills more kids than any other diseases, is childhood cancer. So raising the awareness for it and then going out and doing these incredible feats of endurance is a way to not only raise awareness but raise money for that charity, but also to offer support and encouragement to these people that are, in a traumatic sort of point in their life. If this is what they're facing, they're not only themselves as the kids, but also their loved ones and their parents. So to see somebody going out and putting themselves to the test to the level of an Ultraman is nothing short of incredible, because it would be an incredible feat in the best of conditions, but doing it with the burden of raising awareness, carrying the weight of losing your daughter and doing it in her name is just beyond comprehension. And to see someone go out and thrive in that environment is incredible. So when I was watching the clips and following along to see how he was doing, there was a day that he was in Scotland and he came off the run leg where he's ran up, I think 34 days he'd ran up the United Kingdom, and then he's turned around and jumped on his bike when he's got to the top of the UK, the very top of Scotland, and jumped on the bike and he started cycling back down. Well, Scotland being Scotland, the weather turned. And it turned in only the way that Scottish weather can turn. So the heavens opened, and Ashley doesn't do too well in the cold. And he got battered considerably by Scotland's hills and Scotland's rain. So I seen a clip, and I'm looking at the clip, and he's in a rough state. Because he's just been rubbed to the nub. And of course he has. I mean, it's a difficult challenge doing the cycling part. Anyone that done Land's End to John O'Groats or John O'Groats to Land's End on a bike is incredible. But having 34 days of running over a marathon distance every day for 34 days prior to doing the bike leg is, obscene. So he's in bad way. He's put up the clip. He's 70 miles in and he is wiped out. And I could see the hole that he was in, because I've taken part of endurance events, and when you can recognise when someone is just empty, they're just, really, really wiped out by what they're doing, and they're looking to just push through to get that final bit done for the day. And that's where Ashley was. He had 30 miles left, and they thought we were recording here with Big Mikey, and I says, look, I've seen his video. I think I'm going to go and cheer him on. Give him a bit of encouragement, because I thought, fair play to you. A lot of people wouldn't do what you're doing, right? And I'm, to go out and in the face of adversity, in the face of a challenge, to raise money and awareness, and you're still pushing through is just, commendable to a degree at which it's hard to put into words. to then see that during this event, he's feeling pretty wiped out, and I thought, I'm going to fire my bike in the van and go and cheer him along. So I thought, what would be good? What would be a great way to do that? So, I thought it would be good to sort of put a post on social media. It was good. That always helps raise awareness and attention, because that's part of the process in terms of getting the word out there. And I thought, well, putting a donation in is always going to help. And I'm in a fortunate enough position. I've got some available funds that I could put a decent contribution in to raise some money for the charity, which is also good. And I thought, going along and cheering them from the side of the road is, going to help as well, lift the spirits. And I thought, well, why don't I just cycle along? And I'm pretty handy on a bike. I can give a decent account of myself. I'm sure I can hold my own. And I thought, well, I'm all about going the extra mile. So why don't we throw the bike in the van? We'll go and find them on the tracker. We'll stick a donation in cash, and I'll take it with me. We'll send out a message out in social media to raise awareness. Say, look, this is what we're going to do. Get it shared. Let everybody know. Follow this guy. Follow his progress. If you've got any spare money that you can donate, no matter how small, why don't you chuck it in? Because every little helps. So you can do the social media bit. It doesn't cost you a thing. And if you are lucky enough to have a spare few quid, why don't you throw that in the hat? Because every little helps. And then if you're there and round about, then cheer along. But going the extra mile, I thought, I'll take my bike over. So I finds him on the tracker, drive 70 miles along to where he's at, parks a van, and goes and finds him on the road. So I drive past them and see that he's on the road, and then turn the van round and go back the direction that he's going, and drive far enough down that I can get my bike out, and then join the boys on their ride. As I said, when you've got these fears and uncertainties and doubts, I mean, I don't know, like, first of all, I'm unannounced, so it might be that, they're not wanting any company. It might be that they don't want anybody riding along. The sport team might be, hey, look, we want it to be, the guys to be left alone out there. It might be that he's not in the mood to chat. So there's lots of things that I could be doing this for a complete wasted effort. And as I said at the beginning of this, it's all about how do you deal with that fear and uncertainty and doubt. I'm like, well, look, if you don't take a shot, then you don't know. And I thought, I'll take my shot. I'll go along and I'll see if this guy wants a bit of encouragement. I pops along on a bike, gets the bike out of the van, thinks I've left enough space, and the guys, unbeknown to me, have passed by, and I think that they're north and these guys are heading south. So I've rode north to see if I can see where I've seen them on the road, only to find that I've actually cycled up to the point at which I'd seen them, and then I now realise that they must have went past. So I've burrowed my bike around, and then I'm chasing on as hard as I can go on the bike to try and catch up with these guys, knowing that I've obviously went the wrong direction. And at that point, I could have easily just went back to my van, and they might not want anybody there, and they might not want anybody beside them, and they might not be in the mood to chat, and they might not, all these fears and doubts and uncertainties are there. But I think, hey, look, we're here, give it a shot. So ends up chasing on for 5 miles, catches up, and go and say hello. Say hello, guys, how he's doing? So you fancy a bit of encouragement? I says, I've seen your post yesterday. I says, I'm a big fan of what you're doing. I think it's great. I think I thought I'll take this opportunity while this dude is in my neck of the woods to come and offer some support. And it became pretty evident that was just what the doctor ordered, because to be able to, when you're out there and you can have a chat with someone, the miles fly by and you can lift spirits, and that little bit helps. And it was amazing to see how much energy was out there in terms of the people that were in cars that were cheering them on, and the people at the side of the road that were cheering them on, and the interactions of just people being blown away by how much this guy was putting himself on the line. And not only that, but the energy that came from the people that were showing the appreciation, the people that were making signs. There was kids out with their teddies. To see that firsthand was why you should always go the extra mile, because these people could have just done it from the house. but they've taken the time to come out, they've taken the time to take pictures, they've taken the time to post it on social media, they've taken the time to donate. And that, I think, is why you should always do what you can. See, when you think it might not matter if I put, a couple of quid to something, or, it might not be a meaningful donation, or even if you've not got any money, you might just be cheering at the side of the road. To witness firsthand how much that lifts the spirits is why we should always do it. And partly being alongside someone that is that many days into an event and is clearly, clearly pushing the limits of what's possible. It's just something that if you can get there and see it, I think it's worthwhile doing. I mean, it's one thing seeing it on social media, and social media is a powerful tool, there's no doubt about it. But seeing it, even if it's at the side of the road, or, you're alongside in a car, or maybe you're, if you're lucky enough, like I am, where I can I cleared the diary and able to, be a strong enough rider to go out and do that, then that I was lucky enough to be able to see that firsthand. And one thing led to another. Got on well with his team, his support team, Simon Butt, who was a great support rider, Nicola there, who was driving the support van, with a great chat and a great interaction, and was just there to encourage and say, look, hey, look, I love what you're doing, keep going. And I ended up riding the rest of the route that they had on for that day, which was a fantastic experience, and it was a real honour to be allowed to sort of tag along and help support and engage with what they're doing. So in terms of, if you're out there and you want to follow along and you like the idea of supporting something that is, you might not see as what you can do can play a big part, then check it out. Check out the Azalea Foundation. Check out Ashley Cain. Give them a follow on social media. Keep abreast of their posts, and go and check it out. But my key takeaway from all of this is that when you have fears and you have doubts, back yourself. When you worry about, what ifs, there's two sides to that. I could have been turned away. I could have been told, look, they're not wanting anyone there, but I didn't. I took the opportunity, I took the shot. You just don't know what's possible. And if there's a what if to the negative, there's also a what if to the positive. And if you want more out of yourself and you want more out of life, and you don't like the results that you're getting, or you don't like the way that you're thinking, then ask yourself the opposing question. What if this encouragement matters? What if that donation helps? What if me riding along makes a difference for even a mile or half a mile or however long it is? Those little things add up. And think about your own life. If you could do little things that added up and you started them now, what would your life look like in a week? What would it look like in a month? If you made a small change in your standards now and you eliminated just even a handful of fears and doubts, what would your life look like in a month? What would it look like in 2 months and 3 months? How would you change? How would your mannerisms change? How would your outlook change? And more importantly, how would your results change? And here's the thing, it's cumulative. So as you get better at seeing the better outcomes or the more positive outcomes or the what if possibilities, then you will start to see a shift in your results. And if that's something that appeals to you, then you should definitely consider doing it. But it can be a lonely road. And that's why, if you feel like it's a lonely road, then why don't you come along, join my Mindset community. Mount Mindset is a place where, if you're looking to develop your mindset, there is no better place to go, because it's people who are at all varying stages of their mindset path, whether they're in the darkness of depression and looking to find a way out, all the way through to they're absolutely acing it in life and they're looking to squeeze a bit more potential and they want to take their life to the next level. And the format and the template for that is the same, regardless of what end you're at. And that is, raising your standards is number one. And that can be just the standard of your thoughts. So if you can increase a better quality of thoughts, it doesn't cost you a thing. All it costs is a change in mindset. And if you want a proven, exact, perfected way of doing that, come and join in the fun. I'm going to be releasing a Mount Mindset challenge this month. So this is going to be an accountability challenge over the next 14 days. When you take part, it's going to be a 14-day challenge. There's going to be a lesson each day for 14 days. And you're going to track your progress all the way through. And you're going to see what difference you can make to your life through mindset in as little as 14 days. And this is going to get greater accountability, better consistency, a better quality of thoughts. You're going to be able to see outcomes more clearly. You're going to be able to seize opportunities because you're going to be able to see them. You're going to be able to dial out negativity and replace that with positive thoughts. You're going to be able to shift your mindset so that you can shift your perspective so that you can expand your goals. If you like the sound of that, then stand by for the challenge. It's coming very soon. Another thing that I'm planning on doing is we're going to have a meetup. So if you're listening to this, you don't need to be part of Mount Mindset. You can just be interested. We are going to go to one of the iconic hills in Scotland. Now, don't worry, it's not too high. It's not too steep. There's a cafe at the bottom of it. So we're going to arrange a day out. We're going to have a Mount Mindset meetup. You can share it with your friends. If you like the idea of improving your mindset, if you like the idea of tweaking your mindset, if you're sick of having the same negative mindset and you want to break free of the chains of your negative thoughts, then get your backside along. Details are going to follow. We're going to pick a date and we're going to have a meetup. So share it around, share it with your friends, get your hiking boots on and your trainers on and come and grab yourself a bottle of water and let's go climb a proverbial mountain. And we'll do it in real life too. And when we get to the top of there, no matter what your skill level, you can be the slowest, weakest, most out of shape. We're going to get you to the top. You can be a mountain goat and you can ride on the front. It'd be a great place to meet along. If you want to be part of something, you want to see people in action, doing it for real, then that's the place that we're going to do it. So that's going to be in the month of June. We'll launch up the date soon. So follow me on all my social media channels. Drop me a message if you want to be included in the dates. I'll be taking those people that want to go and we're going to go to the top of the mountain. I'm going to show you how to improve your mindset with no issues. If any negative doubt in there, we're going to squeeze it out, because just like we've seen with people that can overcome massive obstacles in their life, tragic events, disabilities, accidents. See if your life's not as severe as that, and they can change their mindset, then so can you. So stand by for more details. Be sure to follow us for more. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Conversations with an Investor, and I will see you again soon.